Cologne's central station, New Year's Eve. Women are attacked by a large group of men said to be of North African and Arab origin.
They just circled us and surrounded us. They just touched us everywhere they could. It's not cool that we're not safe anymore.
I've come to Cologne to find out who people are blaming for the attacks and meet the activists jumping on the bandwagon to further their politics. A week later, 3 protests are organised. The first is a feminist flash mob.
So tell me why you're out here today.
Yeah, because we want to be loud and make a sign against violence against women. I don't care who they are. There are assholes in the whole world, and we are against assholes.
So all of a sudden, the entire crowd burst into what I can only describe as sounding like a lullaby. Very considered, very calm, very peaceful. Everyone is on good form here. It's a nice atmosphere. There's a march on the opposite side of the station, where everyone now seems to be heading. So as you can see, the whole area is flooded with police. Basically, to the left of me, this is what you would describe as the liberal section, I guess. And they've come to have a bit of a standoff. Pegida and other anti-Islam organisations. It certainly feels a lot tenser here than it did outside the cathedral. So the crowd behind me are chanting, "Nazis out, refugees welcome." Refugees aren't the issue, Nazis are.
Islam ist das Geschwür und Pegida ist die Heilung.
Islam is the cancer, Pegida is the cure.
Tommy Robinson, ex-English Defence League leader, is speaking. He's here to raise his profile.
All we're asking as organisations, there's many organisations now like Pegida across Europe. Every country's got a representative organisation. All we're asking is, you stand with us.
Chancellor Merkel is handing out the birthright of Germans like she is handing out sweets to children.
These are the right-wing organisations. I'm from the BBC in London. Excuse me. From the BBC. Hello.
Hello, what do you want?
I just was wondering if you would like to give us your point of view. Hello.
No, sorry.
No? Excuse me.
The anti-immigrant protest was dispersed by police. Revenge attacks on migrants and refugee shelters are on the increase. So I wanted to know what asylum seekers think about their new home and hosts.
So, tell me where you're from.
I'm from Somalia.
And how long did the journey itself take?
It was taken by 5 months.
5 months?
Yeah.
You feel welcomed?
Yeah, I feel welcome, very welcome. I want to thank the German government, all of them. Yeah, especially Challenger Angela Merkel and all the German people, the social workers in here. They are treating for us very well.
What are your plans now that you are here in Germany?
I reached my first goal of safe because I'm in Germany now. I feel very safe.
There are some people that have an issue with people from other countries coming to their country. What would you say to them?
I think Germany is a democratic country. So that's the opinion. So I'm not ignore for their ideas. But also they are my friends, they are my brothers.
What a dignified response.
Yeah.
You're a true gent.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Yo, Western Sahara.
Western Sahara. So, why are you here?
Trabajar.
Tell me what you make of the German people.
Bien, bien.
Yeah?
Son buena gente. Algunos que son buena gente y algunos que son mala gente. Y algunos que son amables y otros que son racistas. No son todos iguales.
And have you met those that are racist?
La otra vez yo estuve con mis hermanos así. Borracho, me pegó la policía y me llevó por la comisaría. ¿Por qué? Por nada. Y algunos son buena gente. Algunos son mala gente y otros son buena gente. No todos son iguales.
And who do Germans working with the asylum seekers think was to blame for the attacks on women on New Year's Eve?
Weil man darf die nicht alle über einen Kamm scheren. Wir haben hier nur gute Erfahrungen gemacht. Wir haben nicht einmal haben wir Ärger bekommen oder unter den Gästen gab es auch nie Streit.
Und es ist ganz wichtig zu sagen, dass wir auch als Frauen also wirklich nicht einmal schlechte Erfahrungen gemacht haben, egal aus welchen Ländern die jungen Männer oder auch die älteren Männer gekommen sind. Die waren immer höflich, sie waren immer respektvoll, immer hilfsbereit. Also wir können es nicht anders sagen.
And how do you feel towards the people who are using what happened on New Year's Eve to try and push their own agenda?
Das ist ganz furchterregend, was da im Moment passiert. Da werden also Menschen, die hier bei uns Schutz suchen, werden instrumentalisiert für diese Zwecke. Wir finden das also wirklich ganz schlimm. Die Menschen, die Männer, die da in der Silvesternacht aufgetreten sind, die haben nichts mit unseren Gästen zu tun. Das sind Menschen, die sind kriminell. Natürlich muss dagegen vorgegangen werden, aber das hat nichts mit den Menschen zu tun, die hier bei uns in Deutschland Schutz suchen vor Krieg und Krisen.
Many have blamed migrants for the New Year attacks, but they too have come out to condemn them.
Aman, pleasure to meet you. Thank you for talking to me. The reason I wanted to have a chat was because I heard that you were outside Cologne station after New Year's Eve handing out flowers to women. Tell me why.
Und anfangs waren wir natürlich halt geschockt und man hört dann halt nur Kommentare von dem und jenem. Aber als es in den Medien sich verbreitet hatte und plötzlich Kritiker, die sich äußerten dazu und es hieße, dass Nordafrikaner daran schuld sind, dass Tunesier, Marokkaner, Algerier, wer auch immer an diesen Taten schuld sind, sahen wir das Ganze wiederum etwas anders. Wir haben gesehen, dass das Ganze in eine andere Richtung gelenkt wird. Erstens, es ist halt ein Desaster, dass sowas mit Frauen passiert, denn die Frau wurde dort entwürdigt und dazu muss man auf jeden Fall strikt stehen. Deswegen haben wir uns gedacht, wir stellen uns dahin und verteilen das Ganze, damit man zum einen zeigt, okay, in diesen Ländern, wo man darüber spricht, dass die Frau eigentlich keine Würde und keine Rolle, sie ist untergeordnet den Männern, dass das nicht so ist, denn wenn es dem so wäre, würden wir ja nicht dastehen.
So what's it like now in Cologne? Have the attacks changed anything?
I was just shocked by the pictures. Imagine it would be me coming out of the train station, standing in front of all these male people who are doing whatever. There was anarchy. And I feel so sorry for these girls who had to be there.
And how do you feel as young women?
Scared, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
We're scared. It's legal in Germany, so.
Yeah, it's legal, so it's okay. But you have to be safe, no? People from Germany, from here, from Cologne, they're coming to us and say, hey, girls, be safe, please.
Do you think people are a bit more sceptical of some of the asylum seekers and some of the migrants that are now here, they're based here?
Yeah, I think they're more skeptical, right? We're still open to these people.
Yeah. What's your understanding? What happened New Year's Eve?
In my opinion, there's no change in the usual life every day, so I don't see any women run through the streets because they're afraid or something like that.
So why do you think some men thought they'd get away with that kind of behaviour?
Of course, it's very terrible what they did.
He's a migrant too.
Yeah.
You know?
Where are you from?
I'm from Kazakhstan.
Okay.
If I imagine that where they come from and they don't see, let's say, like sexy girls maybe in their country, and then they come here, they see girls like they are naked in front of them, something like that. They are pretty and they have freedom, the girls also. Of course, they are like lions, you just let them free.
"18-year-old Michelle was at the central station that evening.
It was just filled with people, but we couldn't see any women or children, just foreign men. So we were just kind of scared and we thought what would happen. So we just tried to slip around it, but then they just circled us and surrounded us, and we were just inside of the whole group of people. We just thought it was kind of a joke, like every boy does or so on. But after a while they just didn't stop. We were looking at them and they just touched us everywhere they could. We got out of it after I think 5 minutes or so.
And you say that, you know, they were grabbing you, Michelle, they were touching you, like touching your chest, between your legs?
Between the legs, and so they tried everywhere. So they just wanted to distract us from everything they were doing. So they just stole our things while they were doing this. So, yeah.
Who do you think these perpetrators are, and do you think it was planned, because it happened in lots of different parts of Germany?
Yeah, I think maybe it was planned, but I can't really think about that all these 1,000 men just planned to meet there to do this, because it's so many men and they were just different men and not just North Africans. And I think even if they were all migrants, let's say, then still there are so many other migrants that really try to integrate and try to learn German, try to work, and I think they could also be good for the country.
And what do you make of the protests and the marches?
So I think all the groups are now kind of trying to tell everyone who has the fault. It's sad that Germans now fight against each other because foreigners tried to hurt the Germans and steal our things and touched us, and now they are fighting, and I don't think there's any sense in it.
Germany's tolerance towards asylum seekers and migrants is under intense scrutiny. An estimated 800,000 immigrants are expected this year. It would be ridiculous not to acknowledge that there are certain men in certain parts of the world who view women solely as sexual beings as opposed to human beings. Totally accept that. That needs to be addressed. The issue is suggesting it's exclusively Muslim men with that trail of thought. I think that's just far too simplistic. You know, perpetrators exist everywhere. The sad truth is that over 100 women were assaulted, many sexually, and whoever the perpetrators are, they absolutely need to be held accountable. They need to be punished. And all the politicising aside, these women deserve complete support and justice.